Do you know which
This call
week?
is now being recorded.
Okay, which weeks are we now? Kita sekarang dekat
Week
minggu ke
6.
berapa? Week 6. Okay, so here we are. Okay, week 6, supposedly the lectures, we are entering chapter 3. Okay, and then for tutorial is still in chapter 2. But however, Madam follow pattern for our class. So that means every time Madam will explain for the lectures 1, follow the notes that Madam given, then we will try the tutorial questions. So all the questions along with the our lesson is actually taken from your tutorial questions. But of course, some of the questions is extra. So it's after lectures, exercise, after lectures, exercise, and also your own practice to hand in Google Classroom. So this is our pattern. Sebab ada pelajar masih lost lagi. Sekarang Madam tengah ajar macam mana. So this is follow my pattern. We will explain the content first and then trying some of the example. And then after that, you try the questions to be submitting into Google Classroom. Okay, and then sometimes we will explain or sometimes Madam will just give the answer and then you all mark your own answer. Do you know where to access the answer? Ada masa yang lost lagi, kat mana boleh access jawapan setiap exercises?
Smiling Madam.
Dekat mana?
OneNote.
Smiling Madam.
OneNote ataupun MyLink. Ada dua tempat yang awak akan dapat akses. Satu adalah dekat MyNote. MyNote pun Madam dekat share into the link over here, Microsoft OneNote. Okay, hopefully it's synchronized like every time Madam will check also. If let's say you realize it's not synchronized, then you need to let Madam know also lah. Okay, otherwise you can always access the MyLink into the MyNotes over here. So let's say I want to check, okay, the answer for chapter 2. Sometime Madam will upload a little bit later. So over here we got answer chapter 2.1, 2.2, and also for today one also Madam have already uploaded. Okay, so you can always access the answer from here. Nah, ada yang sudah ada yang lost, you kena cari balik lah dekat MyLink. Everything is already provided for you. Okay, otherwise kalau Madam nak explain, Madam akan explain dalam lesson yang seterusnya. So kalau ada yang lost, you can always ask. Okay. The second things over here, go back to the course outline. Okay, so some of you have asked also for our UPS. So now we are in week 6. Okay, to finish your chapter 2. And then this week is going to do your post-lab, the lab report for experiment 2. Okay, and then on Tuesday, yay, hooray, holiday. Madam tak ada buat replacement class dah untuk hari Selasa. So hari Selasa memang holiday lah untuk awak. Kalau tak, sebab hari tu Madam buat kelas kan. Madam ada buat kelas. Lepas tu there is some issues that happen. I don't know whether it's from our class or not. But there's some complaint to the BMKPM. Bahagian ada, Irfan dekat mana? Dekat kereta? Okay, there's some issue lah, complaint up to bahagian. It mentioned that, okay, ada certain pensyarah buat kelas tambahan pada cuti umum. Complaint dekat situ. So siapa yang kena? Pensyarah yang kena. Padahal pensyarah pun sacrifice our own holiday to make classes for you, which is quite unfair lah. But to respect the students, I don't know whether it's me or other lecturers lah, because I know some of the lecturers also do the classes on holiday or weekends. But since there is some complaint, then unfortunately we cannot do the classes on the holiday. Okay, so untuk Selasa ni, Madam tak buat kelas lah untuk 31st of August. You go and celebrate the National Days lah. Okay? Right. And then we continue.
Madam.
Back in week, yeah.
Madam kata sebelum ni, Madam nak buat sesi khas untuk pelajar yang kuat lemah.
Ya. Untuk soalan yang your topical test kan?
Ya.
Yes, should be this week. During night time lah, either is Monday night.
Until UPS or
Before.
Oh, until UPS lah.
Yes.
Ke macam mana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Madam will update about the one later, a little bit later. Okay. Back to the CO over here on week 7, which is our next week, is your UPS 1. So UPS 1 including our topic 1, chapter 1 and also chapter 2. Okay, so harap-harap awak sudah start revision lah. UPS ini, jangan tanya sekali lagi UPS ini akan kira dekat awak punya PB. Okay, so it's a carry forward marks. Tak ada nak retake exam or etc. unless you have a solid reason. Okay, so when will it be? It depends on the unit. So madam don't know the exact dates yet. Okay, once I know, I will inform in the group. Okay, so clear UPS 1 dekat next week. Biasanya kalau ikut yang sebelum ni dekat hari Jumaat ataupun Sabtu. Okay, Friday or Saturday morning. Okay, and then after that, you will carry on over here. Assignment. Okay, assignment is our chapter 3. So untuk chapter 3 ini tak ada exam. Untuk final year exam, chapter 3 tak ada exam. Tetapi dia ada assignment. So this assignment is a carry forward marks as well. Okay, so start from week 8 after your UPS until week 10. You are given 3 weeks. So nanti untuk minggu depan, Meda akan masuk chapter 3. Nota still in progress because I want to slot in some of the assignment reference for you. Okay, so hopefully by the end of this week, I will give you the notes for chapter 3. So after that, we will complete. Meda akan cuba habiskan chapter 3 dalam 2 minggu. Lepas tu kita akan masuk chapter 4. Okay. So any questions about our planning or the CO?
Dia UPS tu dia dalam masa seminggu tu. And then dia yang assignment tu dia memang hantar sebelum semester break kan?
Ya, betul.
Dia nanti bentuk assignment dia rupa macam mana?
Okay, nanti Meda akan inform lah. Assignment is like you print out and then you fill in or maybe typing lah. Meda want to see what is the question first. Okay,
Alright.
so far questions haven't released yet. Cuma nak bagi tahulah daripada minggu 7 sampai minggu 10. Okay, here is our planning. UPS on week 7 and then week 8 until week 10 is your assignment, which is an important date. And then after the holiday, then madam will brief you again. Okay, so siapa yang sudah lupa macam mana nak access CO, you can go back to the link. So everyone's clear?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam. Madam, dia nanti yang notes tu boleh akses melalui dua-dua mailing kan?
Untuk madam punya notes hanya madam punya mailing. Kalau untuk units punya mailing adalah units punya nota. So ini unit chemistry punya nota lah, tutorial question, lectures notes, practical video and so on. So this one is under unit. It's not made by madam. Yang madam punya mailing sahaja. Okay, so it's different material. So again, in my lesson, I was using my notes. And if you would like to access more different material or video, always go to this link. So over here, you can access to the full lectures notes. Okay, you can access to the lectures video and so on. Okay, madam tak ada masa untuk go through one by one with you. So this is for your own self-assessment or self-learning material. Okay. Jangan semua depends kepada madam untuk madam tak bagi tahulah ni. Okay, this is for your own assess learning. Okay, your self-learning. Okay, so any questions again before we go into our content of the day? Yes, no, yes. Okay, so to recap a little bit what we have done for the last lesson. Okay, before I forgot, thank you very much for your cooperations last week. Everyone doing good. And hopefully we can carry on the habits until the end of our semester. Okay, madam rasa lah semester 2 masih awak ikut saya lagi So for the whole years like this. Second semester hopefully I can see you face to face lah. Cuma tak tahu macam mana you nak duduk dalam kelas ataupun nak masuk dekat dorm, whatever. I don't know. Okay, so for a little bit of revision, last lesson we have already complete chapter 2. Okay, but I still receive some of the questions. Madam, sebenarnya, okay, salah satu soalan yang Madam terima adalah, okay, Madam, what does it mean by the power? So if I give you the electronic configurations over here, okay, this example is referred to sodium. Either I give you Z equals to 11, or I write something like this. A notation 11 here means the proton number. Okay, so you know that for a neutral atom, okay, neutral element, I should have 11 electrons. Okay, so this power thingy, your superscript inside here, is actually means the number of electron. Dia bukan power macam dalam maksud matematik. No, it's not 1 to the power of 2 to the power of 3 or something like that. No, every symbol over here, the 2261 represent the number of electron. Sebab Madam masih terima soalan macam ni, buat Madam risau sikit lah. Okay, so you should have know, okay, number of proton for a neutral atom, it means the number of electron. So let's say over here I have 11 electron, then I have to slot in maximum number of electron for S subshell, okay, or S orbital is 2. Maximum number for P subshell is 6, okay, and etc. So the total number you add up together should be the same as 11. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1, total 11 electron. So those who are confused about the number of electron or the number stated over here, okay, please make sure you practice again. Try to understand this symbol. Now, I will say this is a symbol rather than a power. Sebab dia bukan matematik. Okay? Boleh?
Boleh, Madam.
Okay. So to recap for this electronic configuration, so Madam have already give you the electronic configurations over here. Can anyone tell me what rules do I obey if you're looking at this electronic configuration?
Aufbau principle.
Very good. We got Aufbau. Why Aufbau? Because you see 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s is follow the increasing energy level. Okay, so it following your Aufbau principle. So Pauli dengan Hansru nak tengok macam mana pula? Macam mana kita tahu sama ada dia obey kita punya Pauli exclusion principle ataupun Hansru? Nak tengok dari mana?
Orbital diagram.
Melalui orbital.
Orbital diagram, very good. So over here, if let's say I have my 1s2, so over here, if let's say Madam guna satu line represent satu orbital, so I have 1s2, okay, and then after that I have 2s2, and then carry on, we have 2p6. Remember 2p ada 3 orbital, so dekat sini Madam letak 3 line. Kat bawah tulis 2p saja. Jangan repeat 3 kali Jangan tulis 2p, 2p, 2p. Tak. 3 line ini represent 1, 2p. So over here we have 6 electron. Okay, we have 1. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The way I'm trying to put in the electron is following our Hans rules. And last electrons go to our 3s. Okay. Dekat sini rules apa yang kita apply? Kalau Madam sudah tunjuk orbital diagram, what rules do we apply beside Aufbau?
Pauli dengan Hans.
Pauli exclusion principle.
Pauli exclusion principle, because every single orbital you see up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, one more question. From this orbital diagram, did it show you Hans rules?
Yes.
Yes or no? Dua jawapan saja. Siapa rasa yes?
Yes.
Kalau
Yes.
siapa yang tulis yes kan, tulis
Yes.
dekat kolom message sana kan, tulis 1 kalau awak rasa yes. Kalau no, tekan 2. Okay. So ramai rasa yes Okay. Pandainya jawab. Okay, most of you got it 1. But my answer is 2. No. Okay. Dia sebenarnya tak ada tunjukkan Hans-Rule. Kenapa? Sebab kalau madam bagi jawapan ini sahaja, madam cuma bagi orbital diagram ini sahaja, tak nampak sebenarnya awak isi singly first before pairing out. Okay. Sebab 2P ni sudah fully filled. Awak tak nampak pun madam. Sebenarnya dia isi 2 dulu macam ini ataupun dia singly before pairing out. Tak nampak sebab diagram ni memang sedia ada. Sudah bagi dah. Macam maksudnya dah sudah bagi dalam soalan. So you didn't see any Hans-Rules applied. So in this case, nothing to do with Hans-Rules. Okay, lagi satu kenapa dia tak ikut Hans-Rules sebab 3s untuk s orbital kita tak apply Hans-Rules. If you remember what Hans-Rules say, for degenerate orbitals, electrons are arranged singly first before pairing out. Perkataan degenerate sangat penting. Okay, kenapa degenerate sangat penting? Dia merujuk kepada apa?
Same orbital.
Okay, orbital with same energy. That refers to P subshell, D subshell or F subshell. So kalau let's say madam bagi contoh 1s, 2s, 2p, lepas tu madam bagi 3s, lepas tu contoh yang ini 3p. Okay, lepas tu madam bagi diagram dia macam ini apa dia? Hold on ya. Okay. So if let's say madam bagi contoh diagram macam ni, baru awak nampak Hans-Rule, bukan? Betul? Dekat sini singly first, baru pairing out ataupun madam bagi 3p4 macam ni. Okay, then you will see singly first before pairing out. Awak akan nampak macam mana dia susun walaupun bukan step by step. You will see singly first before pairing out. Otherwise, kalau 4 elektron, kalau dia pair out dulu, awak nak akan nampak benda macam ni. Kalau 3 orbital macam ni. So this one doesn't obey Hans-Rules. So clearly you can see it. So for this case, if you look at the orbital diagram, it applies Hans-Rules and also it applies Pauli. But Hans-Rule doesn't apply over this orbital diagram. Boleh nampak hanya macam dia ada singly before pairing out in degenerate orbitals. Untuk 2p ni tak nampak. So kita tak boleh cakap dia obey Hans-Rules. Okay, do you get it?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Okay, sebab ada certain soalan, especially for your MCQ, untuk pilih soalan ni kan, dia akan banyak guna term macam ni. Dia bagi ini, dia suruh awak pilih rules apa yang dia apply. Ataupun dia bagi ni, rules apa yang dia tak apply. Contohnya. Okay. So you need to understand about each definition for the principles of rules. 3 principles rule or rules of Bell, Pauli, and also Hans. So next, I want you to tell me, if let's say I want to show sodium ion, Na positive, what will be its electronic configuration? So what will be the electronic configurations for our Na plus?
1s2, 2s2, 2p6.
2p6. 3s1?
No need.
No need because you have already removed. Remember, to form cation, you remove electron. Okay, to form anion, you accept electron. So yang ini penting jugalah. Ada satu terms lagi, if for MS32 last time, some of you didn't join the class, right? But you can watch back the video. Okay, so if let's say over here, I want to use the core configuration. If you still remember what is the core configuration, can you try to give me the core configuration for sodium neutral paranatom? What will be its core? Siapa ingat lagi core? CORE, maksudnya inner ataupun center configuration kan? Kita nak represent macam mana?
Square bracket neon 3s1.
Okay, in the square bracket, we have neon. Okay, we have neon and then followed by the valence electronic configurations, our 3s1. So untuk neon, helium ataupun argon kita boleh guna jugalah dalam awak punya electronic configuration. So if you want a shortcut, so from 1s2, 2s2 until 2p6, that is the core represented by neon, altogether 10 electron inside it. Okay, followed by valence electronic configuration. Now remember, valence electronic configuration represent how many valence electron we have. So over here 3s1 represent one valence electron. So it will be in group 1. Okay, so we will further look at this thing in our exercises. So madam would like to discuss with you for this one. Yang ini hari tu ada minta beberapa pelajar daripada MS7, MS8 dengan MS9 buat kan. Maybe lack of time, so madam tak ada buat presentation lah pada hari ini. Cuma nak discuss jawapan. So ada soalan, you boleh tanya dekat sini. Okay? Right. So, do you have your answer with you now?
Yes.
Okay, mark together, yeah? Right. So, for our questions number 1, 3D, 7s, 2D, 4p, which of the above orbitals are allowed? So, all over here, madam ada suruh you buat kan? Sama jugalah, ada beberapa pelajar yang belum hantar lagi walaupun dah lama. I'm not sure whether you forgot or something. So if can, try to submit. Bukan sebab apa, madam nak suruh awak practice. Okay, you need to practice for all of the answer over here. Okay, so for question number 1, which of the orbitals are allowed? And the allowed one is 3D, 7s, 4p. Alright, the only one that does not allow is our 2D. So bila awak nak tulis awak punya reason, okay, you need to list out the possible value. So like before we practice, right, when n equals to 2, what is the possible value of L? Then you list out. So itu adalah dia punya jawapan, sangat simple lah. So because when n equals to 2, L equals to 0, 1 only. Therefore, only 2s and 2p is allowed to exist in the energy level n equals to 2. Okay, so teknik untuk jawab soalan ini sama juga bila awak nampak a which. Jangan jawab soalan statement saja. Jangan bagi allowed 3D, 7s, 4p. Not allowed 2D. You need to support with the reason. Ataupun ada soalan kadang-kadang dia ada tanya what or why. You need to support with the reason. Why you think 2D is it does not allow. Okay. For part B, determine the maximum number of electrons that can be occupied by each allowed orbitals. So for 3D, any d orbital, d subshell is 10 electron. Okay. For S subshell, any S, doesn't matter 1s, 2s or 7s, maximum
Madam,
is 2. Yes.
Tadi for the first question, number 1A, we're supposed to write which orbital is allowed, isn't it?
Yes.
So do we have to mention why haven't we chose 2D?
Yes, we have to.
Oh, we have to. Alright.
Yes. Okay, so support lah. Ada majority, bukan beberapa ramai yang tulis allowed saja. You have to include why 2D is not allowed. Alright. So the answer also you can access from the my link. Cuma madam nak discuss lah macam mana nak interpret soalan dengan macam mana nak jawab. Right. For our part B, so the answer is over here lah. For 2D is not allowed already, so you don't have to write the maximum number. So 2D is not present in any mode. Memang tak wujud lah 2D. So sometimes if you see 2D or something is wrong with the questions already. Okay. For C, give sets of quantum number for the allowed orbital. Okay, so over here the clue. Clue ada dekat sini, sets. So that means it require for all the possible set. So kalau dekat sini all possible set, you will use the comma. Okay, if let's say they ask only one set, you only give one set. Jangan bagi banyak-banyak sulit examiner pilih ataupun macam mana. Dia minta satu set, bagi satu set. Dia minta semua set, bagi semua set. Short and simple. So over here, you need to give over here lah. For 3D, n value equals to 3, L equals to, I think 2, 3D over here, something is wrong, yeah? Okay, for 3D over here, the L values equals to?
2.
2.
Okay, L should be equals to 2. So you should get 3, 2, negative 2. So dekat sini semua betul kan yang nombor ni. Ini adalah 2. Semua betulkan sampai jadi 2. Okay, so the N value you can either type, bukan either semua kena ada. Negative 2, negative 1, kosong, positive 1, positive 2. So you can see positive half for the spin, negative half for the spin. Positive half, negative half, positive half, negative half for every orbital. So I would suggest if you obey the Hans rules, always write the positive half first. So you got positive half for every single orbital from negative 2 until positive 2. Then after that only you write negative half for every orbitals. Okay, so over here you have 10 electron, maximum electron 10. So you should have 10 sets. So dekat sini ada 10 set quantum number. 1 electron, 1 set. Okay, for 7s, maximum number of electron, 2 sets. So 2 electron. So you have 2 sets of the quantum number. So 7. What a lot of mistakes over here. This one should be 0. 7, 0. Okay, and then this one also 7, 0. The orbital n value is only 1. Okay, so change a little bit. For this one is 0. For this one is also 0. So 7, 0, 0, positive half, and then 7, 0, 0, negative half. Then for our 4p, we have altogether 6 electrons. So you should have 6 sets of quantum number. So ini tak ada masalah lah. 4, 1, negative 1, positive half. Okay, and then 4, 1, 0, positive half. 4, 1, positive 1, positive half. And then after that, only you do the spin for negative half. 4, 1, negative 1, negative half. 4, 1, 0, negative half. 4, 1, positive 1, negative half. So all 6 sets of quantum number. So sampai sini ada soalan lain?
I think everything's good.
Irfan nanti tengok balik recording untuk cek jawapan Irfan.
Madam, I have some questions about the
Yes, Cha?
the number 1b. I'm still confused about the orbitals and each orbitals. Does the maximum number for each orbitals is 2?
Yes, orbital is 2, but if let's say they ask for the 3D, right? For over here, they didn't mention 3D XY or 3D YZ. If let's say I write over here is 3D, let's say over here, I'm going to do this. So let's say if I say 3D XY. So this is considered 1 orbital. So maximum number of electron is 2. But if let's say I only mention 3D, that means inside 3D I have 5 orbital. So maximum number of electron 5 times 2, you got 10. So you need to recognize the name or the abbreviations over here. So sometimes you can see the questions, they always mix up subshell orbital. It actually I can say 3D orbital. I can also say 3D subshell. That actually means the same thing. Okay, cuma you need to understand that 3D XY refer to one line, one single line. Okay, If I mention 3D, that means I refer to 5 different orbitals. So the questions always will mix up subshell and also orbital. Then you have to look at the terms. Is it mentioned 3D, or is it mentioned 3D z squared, or is it mentioned 2px? Is it mentioned 2p? Okay.
Madam, on regards on question 1B, so can we actually wrote electrons instead of just E negative?
You mean this one? You write E electron.
No, I meant I wrote 10 electrons, 2 electrons, 6 electrons because I apparently forgot the symbol of electrons when I
no
answered the
problem, no
question.
problem. You just write electron, no problem. This one is a
But
shortcut.
at the same time, I actually wrote a 3D and then I wrote the L equal to 2 and then M blah 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 blah. I also
Okay.
wrote the orbitals. Acceptable
That
also,
one is
isn't
the
it?
list. If let's say you write n equals to something, l equals to something, that one is list only. That is not considered set.
It won't affect the answer, isn't it?
It won't affect the answer, but the presentations of the answer. So when you have the set, you have to write in bracket. Otherwise, we'll call that one is just a list, not the set. Okay?
Alright, noted.
All right. So, Madam, proceed. Second question. Is it all right, Cha? Yeah?
Yes, thank you, madam.
All right, no problem. So we proceed to second questions. Which of the following does not allow? So we have to interpret one of each of the set. So if let's say over here 110 positive half, the problems occur is which number? Nasi lemak masak sambal, which one is having problem?
L.
The value of our L. Okay, because L can only up until n minus 1. Since our n value is 1, so 1 minus 1 maximum or the only number is only 0. Okay, so write down your answer. So when n equals to 1, okay, L equals to 0, which is 1p, 1sn ni salah juga. Okay, so only one s orbital is allowed in n equals to 1. So at the first energy level, we only got 1s. So Chia, to reply your answer just now, right? You see, I can mention this one as 1s orbital. At the same time, I can mention also this one is 1s subshell. Okay, so both are applied. Cuma kena tahu orbital represent one line, or in 1s subshell, I have only one orbital. So subshell orbitals, it depends on the terms that you use. Okay, and then for part B, 2B, 3, 1, negative 1, positive half. Which one having problem? Which number? Which quantum number having problem?
M.
M. So if you look at this one, L depends on N, M depends on L. So if let's say over here, I have already fixed the value of L equals to 1, that means the possible value of N should be only negative 1, 0 or positive 1. Other than that, it's all not allowed. Okay, and then question for 2C, no problem because everything is fine. L value depends on N, N value depends on L, so all are accepted. And last one, for this one very obvious, we don't have such thing as positive 1. We only got positive half or negative half for the spin electron spin quantum number. Okay, so all of this written here is the answer that you need to support. Why is it not allowed? The allow what doesn't have reason. So for this one, no need reason. For C, don't need reason. Okay, so any question for our question number 2?
Madam,
Yes.
yang B tu, yang last dia tu patutnya M eh?
Yes. Sorry, a lot of typo. This one. So M equals to negative 2 is not allowed. Thank you very much. All right. So for question number 3, it's asked you to draw the shape of orbitals. Okay, shape of orbitals when n equals to 1, L equals to 0. Of course, you need to understand which subshell does it mean. Okay, so for this one, it refers to our 1s orbital. Okay, and then for B, when n equals to 3, L equals to 2, and then m equals to -1. Okay, so for this one, it means any orbital from our 3D subshell. So I hope you still remember or you have already memorized the table. L0, 1, 2, 3 equals to SPDF. For this one, I want everyone to remember, memorize. So when it says L equals to 2, that means it refers to our D subshell or D orbitals. Okay, since only one number is stated, that means either one of this orbital. You can only draw one of these 3D. So for 1s, of course, you only got one orbital, so one circle only. Okay, for 3D, any one of this shape. Jangan lukis semua, salah satu
Madam.
saja. Yeah.
So basically the shape here can be any value of orbitals, isn't it?
Any value, it means
Like for example 3dyz can be either -1, 1, 0 and so on, isn't it?
ya betul, sebab kita tahu semua D orbital dekat subshell sama adalah degenerate. Same energy. So if let's say I represent this one as -2, -1, 0, +1, +2, or maybe I want to swap it. I want to put this one as 0, this one is +2, this one +1, this one -1, -2. Doesn't matter because all of them same energy. So kalau dia minta -1 saja, salah satu. Saya paling suka donat, so saya lukis donat. No problem. Or otherwise, if I mention n equals to -2, -1, 0, +1, +1, then I need to draw all the 5 orbitals. Because here got 5 value of m. Each m represent one orbital. So ini adalah shape. Jangan keliru dengan orbital diagram. Orbital diagram yang ada line ataupun box, yang ini adalah shape. This always mixed up. Students always mixed up between orbital diagram and the shape. So I want you to take note also. All of these are the shape. Okay? And if they mention orbital diagram, you're using the arrow and the line or the box. So please make sure you are clear about this. So setiap kali kalau awak lukis benda ni, tolong tuliskan dia punya nama orbital tersebut. Satu S ke, nama 3DZ square ke, 3DYZ ke, you need to write that one. To represent what shape are you writing or what shape are you drawing. Is everyone all right with this?
Madam?
Yes, Sue?
Is it okay for the arrows on the axis missing?
Sorry?
Is it okay for me to not draw the arrow for the axis X, Y, and Z?
You mean this arrow?
Yeah, because I just draw a line.
For this one, I prefer you to draw the arrow lah, because axis can be accepted lah, but you have to label which one is the X, Y, Z. Can be accepted.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Okay. And then tak sini boleh ubah saya boleh ubah Z kat sini, Y kat sini, X kat sini, tak ada masalah. I can swap the axis, but you need to make sure the shape follow. But to be easier, you fix lah where is the Z, where is the X, where is the Y. Or sometimes the question will swap it also. Okay. And then after that, for this sketching, right, Madam pun ada satu exercise for you to sketch a little bit later. Madam ada slot in kejap lagi. Dekat like this. Okay, so that means every one of you must recognize how to draw 1S, 2S, 3S, 2PX, 2PY, 2PZ, and etc. for 3D as well. Okay, so sekejap lagi kita buat sama-sama. Alright, so come to question number 4. State and draw the differences between. So yang ini Madam tak lukis, Madam cuma bagi awak punya statement, but you have to draw it between 2s, 3s, 2px, 2py, and then 2px and 3px. This is the reason. Okay, the size of orbital is different between 2s and 3s because the n value, when energy level increases, the size also increases. 3s is bigger than 2s. So you have to draw it also to show the differences. 2s slightly smaller, 3s slightly bigger. Okay, and then for 4b, 2px, 2py, energy level are the same. That means the size are the same. Okay, both are p orbital, so you have the dumbbell shape, but the orientation is different. You have x and y different paksi again, so orientation is different. And then for C, 2px, 3px, same orientation, but different energy level. Therefore, the size is different. Okay, so you can jot down this one. And last one for our question 5, give a set. So madam nak highlight dekat sini, a set, only one set for the given energy level or the subshell. So over here, energy level 3. So any set of quantum number, remember maximum number, for the energy level, it can be from 3s, it can be from 3p, or it can from 3d. So dekat sini adalah 3s. Okay, let me draw this one, yeah. So for this one, 300 positive half, 300 negative half is from our 3s. So you can choose any of this. Or maybe you want to choose from 3p. So when you see the value L equals to 1, okay, so that means this is from 3p. This 6 quantum numbers from 3p. Or you want to choose from 3d, also can. So any sets over here, because the questions only request for one set. Kalau soalan minta all possible sets, or it tells you to give sets, okay, it's a plural form, then you have to give all. And then for 3D, any from the sets over here. And then if I write that 3D x square minus y square is specific for the orbital, so also you can choose any of the sets here. So this is from the subshell, this is from the orbital. And because the energy level are the same, so you can choose. So answer for B and C is actually the same thing. Subshell, orbitals. So value are the same because all of them same energy. So any questions until here? Ada soalan dekat sini? If no questions, then we will proceed to the exercise for last test days. Can we?
Yes, madam.
Boleh.
Yes, madam.
Okay, right. So for the questions on last Thursday, so first one also write down the sets of quantum number. So macam mana nak tahu berapa set yang kita kena bagi? How do you know? Anyone?
You've stated the set, which means that all of it, isn't it?
Is it all of it? All the
Hold on.
possible-
No.
Oh, no, sorry. I missed.
Number on the right hand
You know-
side. The upper
the
side.
the number as the superscript, right? So this one, the one that you imagine as the power, right? It represents how many electrons are there. So if let's say we look at 2s1, 1 represents only 1 electron. Therefore, we have only one set. Okay. 3p2, how many sets do we need?
2.
2 sets because 2 electron. If let's say I have 4p5, how many sets?
5.
5 sets. Okay, 3d4, how many sets?
4.
4 electrons. So you need to have 4 sets. And 5d6?
6.
6.
Sets. So semua ini kena ikut awak punya alpha, you kena ikut Pauli, you kena ikut Hans rule. Semua kena ikutlah bila awak tuliskan dia punya orbital diagram. So let's see how we apply over here. So for for question 1A to S1, okay, NLMS, you refer to this value, MLMS must complete 4 different number. So energy level 2, so we have 2. S orbital value of L equals to
0.
0.
okay. So when L equals to 0, M should be only 0. Okay, and then we have 1 electrons only, so I always go to positive half first. If let's say I got 2s2, then I should have 2 set. So this will be your answer for 1A. And for 1B, we have 2 set. So 3. What is the value for P? For your L?
1.
1. So over here, this one, okay, for this column, I highlight in yellow. Okay, it should be positive 1, 0, or negative 1. So if Madam choose positive 1, so I will put the spin positive half first. And then your second electron, according to Hans rules, saya kena isi satu lagi orbital yang lain. So Madam akan tunjuk macam mana Let me write down the what's it called? The sets of quantum number first. So I write down 0 over here. Positive half. Why do I write different orbitals over here? If you remember your orbital diagram, so let's say 3p have 3 orbital, 3 line. So each one represent by 1 value, 0, negative half, positive half. Doesn't matter you arrange how. Okay, because all of this have different energy, have the same energy. So dekat sini kalau ikut Hans rules, saya akan fill in singly first before pairing out. So kalau saya tulis saya ada 3p2, so maksudnya saya ada 2 electron. Okay, so singly first before pairing out according to Hans rule. Therefore, I need to have 2 value for the orbital. Tak boleh terus bagi negative 1, positive half, negative 1, negative half. Tak boleh. Kalau awak bagi dua-dua dalam orbital yang sama and value yang sama, maksudnya awak disobey Hans rules. Do you get me?
Madam.
Yes.
Saya salah faham kot. Saya ingat ni bila kan kita dah lukis dia punya orbital diagram kan. Kan dia jadi macam apa, yang negatif 1 dengan kosong ada 1 je yang kat atas kan. Saya fikir kena buat apa ni, kena buat set of quantum yang dekat kosong tu je.
Dekat kosong saja?
Saya fikir kena buat 1 je. Faham tak?
Bukan, sebab dekat sini ada 2 tu P2. So maksudnya kena ada 2 set.
Okey. Nanti saya betul. Nanti Madam.
Okay. So you betulkan dekat sini. So Madam nampak banyak jawapan yang value untuk M sama, lepas tu letak positive half dengan negative half. So boleh betulkanlah awak punya konsep dekat sini. Okay, so it means that you need to refer to orbital diagram. According to Hans rules, we need to fill in singly first. Therefore, in your sets of quantum number, kenapa Madam cakap Madam prefer, hari tu kalau awak masih ingat lagi, prefer you to write out the positive half spin first. Because singly first before pairing out. Okay,
Madam, so kat
you
sini
need to fill
M equal to 1 tak boleh accept
M equals to positive 1, boleh?
Boleh juga
Boleh juga. So maksudnya kalau sekarang dekat sini Madam tak nak ini jadi negative 1, saya isi ini positive 1, yang ini jadi negative 1. Let me put this one. So let's say I arrange like this. This one should to become my negative 1. So over here you just change this one into positive 1. So for this positive 1, 0, negative 1 tak kisah mana-mana sebab sama energy. So value yang Madam highlight kuning ini boleh antara positive 1, kosong ataupun negative 1. Cuma kena pastikan yang spin semua kita buat positive half dulu. Am I making this one clear? Can you hold on?
Yes, Madam.
Boleh. Kalau ada soalan
Can,
tanya
Madam.
ya. Madam takut awak salah faham, nanti jawab soalan tekan toy. Okay. So make sure we try one more examples over here. Okay, we try D. So just now we said 3D4, we need 4 sets, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. For D subshell, 3D, we have 5 orbital. Bagi tahu madam value M dia apa kalau ada 5 orbital dekat sini?
3.
3 pula.
Negatif 2.
Negatif 2, negatif 1,
Negatif 1, kosong, 1, 2.
positif 2. Ataupun awak boleh arrange macam mana? Kosong, negatif 1, negatif 2, positif 1, positif 2. Or you reshuffle this value. No problem. So now if I got 4 electrons, then I fill in accordingly. 1, sorry for today, a little bit not smooth with the handwriting. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So according to Hunt's rules, the degenerate orbital of 3D, fill in singly first, and then no pairing out lah sebab 4 elektron saja. So dekat sini saya boleh buatlah saya punya quantum number 3, 2. Kenapa 2?
Sebab D.
Sebab D orbital. So saya letak sini 2. Hafal table tu. 0, 1, 2, 3 SPDF. Okay. So for this one, I highlighted in yellow. You can choose out of that 5 number. Let's say I choose negative 2 and then positive half. So for this value, you choose 4 number from negative 2, negative half, 0, positive 1, positive 2. Any 4 number because you would need to occupy 4 different orbitals. So contoh, madam bagi 3, 2, negative 1, positive half. Ikut dekat sini yang madam isi lah. 3, 2, 0, positive half. Lepas tu madam isi lagi 3, 2, positive 1, positive half. So 4 set saja sebab 4 elektron. You get me now?
Madam.
Yeah.
Madam. Kalau kita nak tulis arrow tu kan kita guna half headed boleh ke?
Sorry, I can't really hear you.
Kalau kita nak lukis arrow tu kan kita guna half headed.
Okay. Boleh accept. Sebenarnya lagi tepat lah kalau guna half headed. Cuma madam ikut syllabus, dia guna double headed. In university level, you're going to learn the half headed. Sebab half positive half, negative half. Lagi tepat lah kalau guna single headed. Cuma madam ikut keseluruhan mereka nak standardize semua orang guna double headed.
So basically
Okay,
speaking,
madam,
we can actually use the half headed,
Yeah,
isn't it?
both accepted.
So we can actually use half headed so that we can usualize ourselves with this to be used in university. Am I right?
Yes.
Alright, so okay, alright, I think that's all for now.
Okay, so ada soalan lagi tak untuk soalan pertama ya?
Madam, if yang dia punya M tu kita tak letak positif boleh tak? Like positive
I
1 tu.
encourage you to write because the positive represent the orientation. I prefer you to write down.
Okay.
Bukan cakap salah, tapi prefer you to write down. Okay?
Madam,
Yes.
sorry, actually just now for B I understand well, but suddenly for D I confused a bit because in the orbital diagram we only put 4 arrows because that one is 3D4, so 4 electrons should be filled. But in our set we only choose -2, -1, 0 and +1. So can we still choose +2 because in orbital diagram we didn't put any arrow there. So does it means we can still choose or we can't? I'm slightly confused.
You can choose. What madam mean here is for this value. Okay, let me wrap up all of this. Okay, so now
Sorry, madam.
it's okay because I think most of you confused about this thing. For this one, because we are following the Hunt's rules, you see, okay, singly first before pairing up. Therefore, for n value over here, I'm free to choose any of the value here. If you prefer 0, you write 0. If you prefer +1, then write +1. And maybe I want +2, and maybe I remember about -1, then I write -1. As long as you choose from the set over here, the list over here, because I only fill 4 orbitals and 1 is empty. So that means you only can have 4 set with different value of n. But the number of spin, I will put same first because we obey the Hans rules. You get me, Harris?
Okay. So basically, it's about the spin, not the orbital. So the orbital can be changed, but the spin should be the same.
Yes, because they are same energy level. So even though I reshuffle, also no problem.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Clear now. Thank you.
No problem. Yang lainnya ada soalan yang sama Madam make it clear like this. This is the possible value that you can choose. Unless sekarang Madam bagi 3D5, that means all of the number you should fill. From -2 until +2, you have to fill all. If let's say you have 5 sets. Okay.
Madam, kat sini saya nak tanya sikit pasal orbital diagram tu. Bawah garis-garis tu kan kena tulis balik. Contoh macam 1s, power 1 lah semua tu. Kalau saya tulis balik power tu boleh ke?
Tak boleh. Tak boleh ikut power macam yang Madam tunjuk contoh, bawa garis itu hanya boleh tulis 1s, 2s, 2p. Tak boleh ada number.
Baik Madam, baik.
Okay, kalau ada nombor itu adalah electronic configuration. Okay. Right, so for question C and also E, you can check the answer a little bit later lah. So Madam want to explain further for question 2. Okay, let's look at question 2. Okay, write the electronic configurations for the element for the following proton number. Now, so if let's say over here we have 9 proton number. So I think this one everyone is expert already, right? So can you do this together with me? 1s1, 2s2, and
2p5.
2p5. Well done. Thank you. How about B? 17 proton number. 1s2, 2s2,
2p6,
2p6,
3s2,
3p5.
3p5. So every single number you need to follow the maximum. For S, maximum is 2. For P, maximum is 6. For D, maximum is 10. Beyond that, you put into the next level. Okay, how about for C? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6.
2p6,
3s2,
3s2,
3p6,
3p5,
4s2,
4s2.
4s2, 3d2.
4s2 and
3d2.
3d2. So for those who wish to use the core electronic configuration, feel free. Okay, so let's say for B, I want to use the core for neon because I know the inner configuration, inner shell, I have 10 electrons. So I can also write it like this. Okay, or for C, if you have a very long core, okay, for this one, represent our organ, then I can write it something like this. Organ and then 4s2 and then 3d2.
Madam, nak tanya something Madam?
Sorry?
Kan yang dulu Madam pernah cakap yang kalau ada 4S, kan dulu ada yang 4S2, lepas tu ada 3p6 kan? Kita kena buang S tu jadi 4S1, lepas tu kena tambah satu lagi elektron dekat P tu untuk jadi penuhkan dia. Itu yang macam mana Madam?
Itu hanya untuk chromium dengan copper saja. Yang lain tak ada. You jangan confuse. Chromium dengan copper saja anomalous. Yang ada gerakkan elektron daripada 4s ke 3d. Itu hanya kepada 24 chromium ataupun 29 copper.
Oh, okay.
Lain tak ada. Jangan confuse.
Okay, baik Madam. Thank you Madam.
Untuk orang lain pun sama.
Do they usually give us the core configuration or do we have to remind ourselves about it?
Okay, both of this accepted. Cuma Madam ajar yang core configuration sebab ada masa soalan bagi core. So Madam ajar. Jangan ada masa nanti awak panik. Apa masalah ini neon? Ada argon tiba-tiba. I teach you this so that you can understand the questions better. But if you don't want to write as the core, you don't remember what electrons inside neon, how many electrons inside argon you want to write as usual, no problem. Both accepted. Okay, so for D, proton number 30, and then for E, proton number 34. Later you can check back the answer, yeah? And let's look at the next one. Come from the ion. I think this one also everyone is quite okay, right? So which one you having problems? Can I know?
Madam. Macam saya tak perasan yang kena buat ABC je kan. Saya terbuat yang F tu kan. Lepas tu F tu kan dia kena tolak satu kan. Maksudnya kita kena tolak dekat 4S lah kan.
Okay, contoh ni siapa yang tanya?
Nabil
tanya kita tengok contoh ni sama-sama. Okay, so let's say over here we know the proton number is 28. So can I know the original or the neutral atom? Kita ada 1s1. Sambung.
2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d8.
4s2 and 3d?
8.
Everyone agree?
Yes.
Okay, so remember, this is how you fill the electron according to alpha principle, isn't it? 4s first before 3d. So when you want to make an ion, okay, you want to make a cation, you need to remove electron. So remove electrons, always remove from 4s. So that means first electron from 4s, second electron from 4s, then no more. If you want to remove the third electron, then should be from 3d. Then the fourth electron from 3d, the fifth electron from 3d, and so on. So in this case, to make our nickel ion, then you have to write all over again until you remove the electron from 4s, then it remains 4s1 and then 3d8. Do you get me?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So any questions for this one? Yes, Sue?
Madam, for this nickel ion, can I write 3d8 and then 4s1?
Okay, good question. So for this one, semua orang pay attention yang ini penting juga sebab ada yang mungkin faham, ada mungkin yang tak faham. Sebab yang ini involve a complications idea. Actually, 4s and 3d is like two level. So let's say you look at madam's hand, you can see my hands, right? Can you see my hand?
Can.
What do you see?
Yes.
Red pen.
Okay, red pen and also my black pen, right? So madam adjust dulu, you nampak dekat sini red pen rendah sikit kan? Okay, did you see?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so now focusing on my red pen, everyone listen over here. You're focusing on my red pen. So according to alpha, this red pen is my 4s. This black pen is my, okay, this black pen is my 3d. So both are empty actually at the very beginning. So when I have the electrons, I fill in the 4s first. Okay, so 4s1, 4s2, I fill in the red pen. And then for the third electrons onwards, as extra electron, I will enter the 3d. Okay, so when you fill the 3d, can I know how many electron maximum can fill in 3d?
10.
So awak imagine sekarang saya isi 1 elektron, 2 elektron, 3 elektron, 4 elektron. So what happens? Until 10 electrons, what happens?
Getting down.
Ya, sebab elektron sendiri pun ada mass. So when you fill in the electron, actually the energy level will getting lower and lower. So until certain times, when I completely fill my 3D, so sebenarnya 3D ni dia akan jatuh ke bawah. So there is a complication kenapa madam suruh awak fokus pada 4S dengan 3D. Initially empty, 4S is lower energy. Tapi awak kena ingat 4S paling banyak pun saya isi 2 elektron saja. Tapi 3D saya boleh isi 10. So when I fill in, so after I completely fill in both, let's say I got 4S2 and 3D10. So this 3D10 will getting into your inner cell. It will fall into the core energy level. Do you get me? You understand this concept, everyone?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So jawab balik soalan tadi, boleh ke madam saya tulis 3D dulu sebelum 4S? Boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay, boleh, tak ada masalah. Tapi madam akan encourage, okay, nak senang kalau awak punya 3D belum penuh lagi, it's not completely filled, then I put 3D upward first. Okay, and then after, or if I got 3D10 fully filled, then I will move it inwards. So it become 3S2, 3D6, 3D10, then 4S2, 4P something, 4D something. So kalau sudah penuh baru kita anjak ke bawah. Kalau tak, saya akan encourage awak letak 3D dekat atas. Okay, sometimes the questions will do it like this. 4S dulu baru 3D. Ada masa dia akan letak 3D dulu baru 4S. Dua-dua betul, tak ada salah. Okay? Did everyone get me?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Gegar tangan, madam. Harap semua orang faham Okay. So for this one, yeah.
For the 4S, if I don't write number 1, can or not?
Sorry?
For the 4S, if I didn't write the number 1 above the 4S, is it accepted?
You must write down the 1 because this one is not mathematics. So the 1 represent electron. It's not the, like we know, like power 1 equals to the original value. That is mathematic concern. But now, this electronic configuration, the 1 is very important. Madam bulatkan semua orang kena faham yang ini satu ni sangat penting. Because it represents 1 electron. So you have to write down the 1. If you didn't write down, that means this structure is empty. Where it is empty, then we don't have to write down. So yeah, have to write down, yeah?
Okay, thank you, madam.
Okay.
Madam, and one more question. No matter we have 1 or 2 electrons on the 3D subcells, we still remove the electrons from the 4S orbital as well.
Sorry, Sue, I can't hear you.
I mean for 3D orbitals, no matter if we have 1 or 10 electrons, we still remove electrons from 4S orbital first.
Yes, 4S first before 3D.
Okay.
Always 4S first if you want to remove electron. Okay. This concept is like just now lah. Just now we said if let's say you have 3D, right? So now if you got 3D it's putting inside your inner shell, then that means we have to remove from our 4S. Okay. So the answer, madam attached along the SPDF, your electronic configuration, as well as the orbital diagram. Can you see my screen now? Is it too small? Ataupun awak boleh access nanti untuk cek semula. Okay, for the ions and electronic configurations for ion, you will need to write down the electronic configurations for the neutral atom and then followed by the ion. But orbital diagram only follow the ion. So for here, you can check your answer. So any question you can let madam know after this lah. Okay, so madam nak tunjuk soalan yang keempat. Soalan ini soalan exam Okay. So let's see over here. Given the sets of quantum number for the highest energy electron is 410 positive half, write the electronic configurations of X. What is the most stable ion of X? Write its electronic configurations. And then draw the shapes of orbital occupied by the electrons with the highest principal quantum number. Okay, soalan ini dapat daripada past year. Betul-betul daripada past year. So awak kena pay attention. Macam mana nak interpret soalan. Okay, first clue is in the first sentence. Highest energy electron. That means the last electron filling your electron configuration. Sebab awak sudah tahu kan, apa kita isi elektron ikut energy. So last electron It means you have the highest energy electron. So dekat sini, kalau madam bagi satu set, maksudnya highest energy ada berapa set?
1.
Represent 1 electrons only. Dekat sini awak catat satu set maksudnya satu elektron sahaja. Satu elektron sahaja yang ada energy yang paling tinggi. Okay, so now for this 410 positive half, can you let me know which orbitals that is located?
4p.
Okay, semua orang setuju? 4p?
Betul.
Tujuh.
Sebab N ialah 4. Okay, L1 adalah p orbital. So that means it's located inside your 4p. So one set represent 1 electron. Therefore, you have 4p, 1. Kalau sekarang dekat sini, madam bagi 2 set, maka awak akan jadi 4p2. 3 set, 4p3. 4 set, 4p4, etc. Okay, so now to answer your question A, write the electronic configurations for X. Therefore, you have to start all over again for 1s2 until you see 4p1. Okay, so see anyone remember 2s2, 2p6 and continue please.
3s2, 3p6, 4s2.
3p6 and 4s2 and after this
3d10.
3d10 and then sampai 4p1. So this one after 3d10 until 4p, that one you still have to refer. If you can't remember yang belum hafal punya, kena rujuk balik raindrops diagram. 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d dan 4p. So clue dekat soalan ini adalah satu set ni represent satu elektron dekat 4p. So now, just now madam said, when your 3D subshell is completely filled, then I can reshuffle, I can rearrange. Okay, dua-dua ni betul cuma senang kita nak tengok. 3s2, 3p6, and then 3d10 because it's completely filled. So the energy level will drop and 4s coming up. So tak kisahlah awak nak ikut apa ataupun awak nak susun balik. Dekat sini pay attention dekat sini. 4s 3d, 3d 4s. So no problem because the last electron that fill in is our 4p subshell. Do everyone with me?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Madam,
Yes.
so we can actually play at the safer side by actually go according to the original position, isn't it?
Yes, according to alpha 4s first. Lepas tu nak susun balik sebab awak nak senang nak tengok berapa elektron dekat valence shell. Dekat sini nanti soalan Part B akan minta most stable ion kan. So kita kena tahu berapa valence electron awak yang ada. So susun balik so you can see how many valence electron. Okay, so if let's say over here, kalau madam tak susun balik, nanti awak akan pilih valence electron satu saja, which is incorrect. But when I rearrange, then I can see. Okay, for this one, let me highlight over here. Then I can see my valence electron. How many are they? How many valence electrons do I have?
3.
I have 3 valence electron. Kalau berbanding dekat sini lah. Kalau ini tak ada masalah. Cuma awak kena alert. 4s2, 4p1 adalah awak punya valence electron. Okay, sama jugalah valence electron dia ada 3. Okay. Is everyone follow?
Okay.
Right. So now, if I come to part B, what is the most stable ion? Most stable ion is after you achieve, if you can achieve the noble gas configuration. Yang paling complete sekali, dia adalah yang paling stable. So now imagine if my first electron is getting from 4p. Saya keluarkan daripada 4p dulu. So dia akan remains 4s2. Bukan noble gas electronic configuration kan? So dia bukan yang most stable. Okay, elektron yang kedua daripada 4s, elektron yang ketiga daripada 4s, nanti awak akan dapat most stable electronic configuration. Okay, after we remove all these three valence electron to achieve the noble gas configuration, then that is the most stable one. Do you get me?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Okay, so for this one, electronic configuration, we will achieve until you have the complete one. 3p6 and 3d10. And I want to emphasize for this one is 4s2 and 4p1. It's not 4s and 3d. Kalau 4s, 3d, yes, you remove from 4s before 3d. But now, this one is 4s and 4p. Similar like if you got 3s, 3p, 2s, 2d, 2s, 2p. So we will remove electron from p orbital first before s. So ini bukan 4s dengan 3d. So dia tak ada cakap remove daripada 4s2. So higher energy adalah dekat 4p. Sebab energy level dia sama.
Madam.
Yes.
But is it the answer is the noble gas, because it seems like it is not the argon atom.
Sorry, this is not
the argon atom, because there's extra 10 electrons there.
Yes. So this is not the noble gas, but it is completely filled. So we actually call this a pseudo noble. Yang ni tak ada dalam syllabus. Tapi kalau untuk Su nak faham kan, boleh catat. This is pseudo noble gas. You can also Google it to find out. It's not in your syllabus, but you can figure out what it means by pseudo noble. It represent or resembles noble gas. It is not entirely the same as noble gas, but it's kind of like noble gas, completely filled.
All right.
So basically speaking, the configuration here is the same as noble gas, but at the same time, it's not noble gas.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Something like noble gas, completely filled, but there's no such noble gas with 3d10. So
because noble gas is already achieve octet arrangement, stable octet arrangement. So this is also, the ions also achieve the same.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Alright.
Okay, so awak catat semua orang catat jawapan ni dulu So untuk yang electronic configuration yang part A, tulis 2-2, lepas tu awak highlightkan, tuliskan 3 valence electron. Okay, so we know that in order to achieve the most stable ion state, we need to remove all these valence electron. And then for part C, draw the shape of orbitals occupied by electron with the highest principal quantum number. Okay, in X bukan X3+, in X only. So yang ini pun kena highlight juga dalam soalan. Remember, every clue or every tips is inside your questions. So I want the highest principal quantum number in the neutral X parent atom. Now, what is the highest value N?
4.
4. And then how many orbitals do you see? 2. Okay, we have one orbital for S and one of the orbital for P. So dekat sini awak kena tulis jugalah awak punya orbital. So let's say I draw it slightly like this. So this one is my Z orbital, my X, Z, Y. So I draw a spherical shape which represent my 4S. Remember 4S, one orbital. So you only got one circle. Okay, one circle means one orbital. And then I have another p orbital. Remember, one electron only fill one orbital. So you can either choose px, py, or pz. So let's say dekat sini madam nak pilih PZ. So saya pun lukislah dekat sini, saya buatlah satu dumbbell. And then saya tuliskan ini adalah 4PZ. Kalau awak nak PX boleh dia dekat sini, ataupun nak PY dia dekat sini. Either one only because you only got 4S and 4P1. Okay, so O for PX, O for PY. Okay, because the highest value of N is 4 in this electronic configurations, then you have to write both of them. Boleh faham semua?
Boleh.
Boleh.
Madam, so basically speaking, for PZ is because the orbitals is on the Z axis, isn't it?
Yes, you can choose lah
And so on
PX
and so
or
forth.
PY.
Right.
So siapa yang confused boleh refer kepada orbital diagram. Kalau rujuk orbital diagram 4S, satu line, so satu circle. Lepas tu untuk 4P ada 3 line kan, 3 orbital. Tapi kita hanya isi satu orbital saja dengan satu elektron. 4S2, 4P1. Therefore, you only draw the shape of these 2 orbital only. The empty one, no need. Because question also mentioned occupied by electron. Another 2p orbital doesn't occupy electron, so you don't have to draw. You only choose either one of the p orbitals. You get me?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Well, where are we? Okay, so dekat jawapan dekat sini, Madam typing ikut afbal lah. Awak boleh catat lagi satu yang sudah rearrange. Okay, lepas tu soalan ni boleh check balik dekat MyLink. Okay, ataupun awak boleh check dekat OneNotes lah. Alright.
Madam, yang
Ya.
lukis tu kan? Yang kalau ada line dalam bulat tu tak apa ke?
Tak ada apa. Yang macam ni, ini is using computerized, no problem. Dalam tengah-tengah adalah tak ada masalah.
Okay, madam.
Okay, let's do a little bit thing. Madam nak suruh awak lukis boleh tak? Beberapa orang volunteer lah sekejap saja. Sekejap ya, Madam share. So, Madam nak tengok cara awak lukis macam mana. Volunteer siapa? First come, first serve lah. Ada dekat sini 3 slide. Kejap ya. Untuk editor. Copy link tak ya lah. Okay, dekat sini ada 3 line, 3 slide Ada 1S, 2S, 3S. And then we have 2P, 2PX, 2PY, 3PZ. Make sure you look carefully for the value of N. And then over here as well. So, Madam bagi 5 minit untuk sesiapa yang nak cuba buat dekat sini. Let me share a little bit. Did you see the link? Okay, sesiapa sajalah nak drawing, first come first serve. Kita tengok cara awak lukis Banyak juga yang redundant. Okay. Try to challenge yourself. Anyone want D orbitals? Banyak bentuk. Cantik. Okay. 2S, 3S dah banyak orang buat, tak nak lah. Kita tengok pula P. Okay, well done. Kita tengok satu persatu Okay. Tak apa yang sudah buat, tak apa. Nanti Madam akan nampak, okay, yang redundant punya kan, akan nampak, okay, semua orang betul ataupun tidak. Okay, your sketch first. After 2 more minutes, I come back to the slide. You can also print out this as a copy for your own practice. Madam have already uploaded into the My Notes chapter 2. So you can draw over there to make sure you understand how to draw, especially for the d orbitals. Untuk membantu awak faham lah, cuma nanti dekat UPS ataupun PSPM, kita tak ada yang hands-on drawing, cuma awak pilih saja. So you also need to know what shape represent what orbital and so on.
Madam, can I have a question?
Yes, Bakis. Bakis yang tanya.
Yes.
Yeah.
So according to the electronic configuration,
Yes.
the electron valence is after the noble gas, right?
For which one?
The electron valence.
The electron balance. You can say like this is after the core configuration, yes.
So the core configuration is up to the complete P and S, right?
It's not always that case. Sometimes it's involved 3D. So tak boleh cakap setiap kali dia adalah involving S dengan P saja. Awak kena tengok secara keseluruhan. Kat mana ialah inner shell, kat mana ialah outer shell.
If the D is full, so the...
You will consider inner.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
So untuk yang valence electron ini, nanti dekat chapter 3 Madam akan explain sekali lagi untuk nampak secara keseluruhan lah macam mana kita nak match in dalam periodic table. But for now, you need to understand how to see the valence electronic configuration. Okay.
So, Madam, we will not be tested on the valence electron in the D block or the transition elements yet lah.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, so let's see your sketching. So let's see over here. I'm going to share the screen, yeah? Okay, so for our S orbital, I think everyone expect very good. So 1s smaller, 2s slightly bigger, 3s is much bigger. Difference only for the size. Okay, and then for 2px, the loops fall on the x-axis. Tengah-tengah ada line tak ada masalah. Asalkan awak nampak kat mana dumbbell shape itu duduk. And then after that, over here 2py, okay, the dumbbell on top of y-axis. For z on top of x-axis. Tapi apa bezanya? Yang 3pz ini. Slightly bigger. You have to pay attention to the n value as well. Okay, 3pz is slightly bigger. Cuma dia tak boleh compare lah. Awak cuma boleh nampak dari segi sini saja. Okay, and then let's see over here. Apa ni?
Biasalah tu media virtual drawing.
Boleh lah. Okay. We discuss one by one. 3dx square minus y square. Okay. Madam guna pen merah untuk lukis. Okay. Let's say over here we have our 3dx square minus y square. Kedua awak punya clover leaf shape is on top of x and also y axis. Madam anjak sikit dekat sini. So you will see. Hold on. Okay, so the D3 x square minus y square again is on top of our axis. Okay, x and also y axis. Dalam awak punya lukisan sendiri nanti awak kena practice balik lah. Madam highlightkan dekat sini Okay, and then you have the clover leaf over here. And then for 4dz square, very well done. You can see there is two lobe. Actually, these two lobe awak punya z dekat z paksi kan. Dia ada dua loop. Satu loop directly on the axis, satu loop dia secara donut. Dekat sini. So kalau 4D, kalau awak dapat compare dengan 3 lah, awak akan nampak dia lagi besar sikit. And then after that, we have our 3D XY is in between axis X and also axis Y. So let's say over here, awak kena practice balik. Kalau dia terkena dengan axis pun tak ada masalah. No problems one. So over here, we have our X and Y in between. And then we have our x-axis in between, no problem. Okay, and then for the xz in between x and also z-axis. Okay, so for this one, very good. I can see most of you can do it already. So, kalau nak senang, awak lukiskan dua paksi yang mengena dulu. Dekat sini, lari sikit So in between X and also, in between Y and also Z. So Y and Z is between two of these axes. Okay, so you can draw it accordingly. I think the line doesn't synchronize, Okay, and also for 3D XZ, in between X and Z axis, line pun lari sikit. Yang last kali ni apa? XY juga, tapi dia beza daripada size. It's something looking like the shape over here, but the size is slightly bigger. Okay, so everyone's aware with the shape practice, Atas kertas lagi senang untuk awak lukis daripada online, So you make sure you sketching and practice.
Madam, untuk yang shape S tu, dia punya circle tu kat tengah-tengah garis tu nak kena padam ke boleh biarkan je?
Biarkan je. Tak payah padam.
Okay, right.
Tapi dekat center lah. Okay. Right. So this one I leave it to you. If anybody have any questions about drawing the diagram, please let madam know. Okay. So we still have another 20 more minutes and let's check one more example. Dekat sini madam ambil example daripada soalan So over here is some extra exercise for you to practice the exam style questions. Okay. So madam akan bincang untuk soalan, beberapa soalan yang madam nak bincang cuma sekarang tak cukup masa. Maybe I'll take question number 3 first. Okay, so let's see our question number 3.
Madam, have you changed the slide?
Oh, yes. Hold on, Okay, can you see my slide now? Boleh nampak madam
Yes.
slide?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, madam.
Tadi madam mention yang ini soalan tambahan. Okay, extra exercise question number 1 until question number 11. So all of this is either from your past year UPS or past year PSPM1. Okay, so you may practice over here. Nanti madam akan bagi tahu soalan apa yang awak kena buat dan hantar dekat GC. Okay, and madam want you to look at question number 3 first. Okay, so for question number 3, over here you can see a lot of orbitals. You can see P, Y, you can see the S orbital, you can see the PZ, you can see the PX, you can see another S orbital. Okay, so the questions say that the orbitals of the first 2 principal energy levels are shown below. So cuma sampai N2 sahaja. Okay, first 2. Okay. So in an atom of element J, orbital A, B, and E are fully are full of electron. Okay, full of electron. That means maximum electrons over here is 2 electron. While C and D are half full. That means only 1 electron inside orbital C and D. So state the charge of J ion. Briefly explain your answer. So before we know the charge, we need to first find out what is the electronic configuration. So dekat sini soalan dia kita boleh jawab daripada B dulu Okay. So in J atom, can you recognize A, B, C, D, E? Mana satu ialah satu S? Because we always start from 1s according to Afbal. So which one is your 1s orbital?
B.
B.
B. Okay, so this is your 1s orbital. So let's say we put the atomic orbital, we recognize the orbital diagram first. Atomic orbital diagram. And then which one is your 2s?
E.
E. Okay, so this one is your 2s. And then how about ACD? What does it represent?
Orbital P.
Orbital P. And the clue, you can find it from here. First two principal quantum, principal energy level. That means you only up until n equals to 2. So if you still remember, first energy level, you only got 1s. Second energy level, you got 2s, 2p. So over here, we got the 2p subshell. So 1s represented by your diagram B. Okay, the 2s represented by your E, orbital E. So 2p over here represented by the A, C, and D. Okay, so let's fill in according to the sentence given over here. Orbital A, B, E are full of electron. So A ada 2 electron. Okay, B ada 2 electron. Okay, B ada 2 electron. And then for E also have 2 electron because it's like it's maximum with 2 electron, full of electron. And then for our C and D are half full. Okay, half filled with only 1 single electron. So we're filling accordingly. So if you're able to interpret the orbital diagram, then you can write out the electronic configuration for our element J. Okay, so over here, the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, and 2p. How many? 2p. 4. So nampak tak cara ataupun pattern soalan boleh ubah macam-macam. Awak kena recognize dekat shape tu penting jugalah shape untuk orbital. Okay, so for your information, one of this represent 1 line. So orbital sama. Satu orbital, satu line. Satu orbital, satu line. Satu orbital, satu line. So dekat sini awak boleh masukkan information yang ada dalam soalan dalam kita punya orbital diagram. Okay, to guide you how to write the electronic configuration. So until this part, any questions? So, susah tak soalan ni?
Can you explain it from the beginning?
Explain it from the beginning?
Because I don't quite sure about question 3A. The answer.
3A belum lagi. 3A belum lagi. Kita start dengan 3.
And then he stated, right? I'm still a bit confused.
Okay. So, Madam ulang sekali lagi untuk sesiapa yang lost dekat sini. Okay. The questions say over here is the first 2 principal energy level. Alright. So first 2 energy level we got n equals to 1, n equals to 2. So kalau belum masuk soalan lagi awak akan imagine, okay, first energy level kita ada 1s. Second energy level, the possible value, L equal to 0, L equal to 1. So we got 2s and 2p. Okay. And then when you're looking at the shape of orbitals given A until E over here, you need to refer to this sentence. In an atom of element J, dia ada bagi tahu orbital A, B, E full of electron. So untuk satu orbital, okay, orbital bukan subshell orbital satu line, maximum electron adalah 2. So bila dia cakap full of electron, maksudnya 2 electron lah maximum. Okay, and then it say, well, orbital C and D are half full. So half full out of 2, then that means only 1 electron. So kalau awak prefer, awak boleh isi dekat sini juga. Satu orbital ini maksudnya satu line, cuma ini dalam bentuk shape. Dalam bentuk. Okay, so kalau untuk orbital A, B, E, full of electron. So dekat sini awak boleh masukkan dulu, ada 2 elektron. Okay, dekat B ada 2 elektron. Dekat dekat E ada 2 elektron. So ini dalam shape. Cuma nanti kita kena pindahkan dia dalam orbital diagram. Okay, and then C and D are half full. That means there is only 1 electron inside C and also D. Okay, and then you need to transfer into orbital diagram. So let's say 1s, you represent, kalau awak dapat bezakan B dengan E, dua-dua spherical shape. Okay, that means both of these are s orbital, but different in the size. That means B is 1s and then E is 2s. So awak pindahkan dekat line orbital diagram. 1s ada 2 elektron. Okay, 2s ada 2 elektron. Okay, lepas tu kita ada 2p. So represent by 2p1, 2px, 2pz, 2py. Tak kisahlah mana-mana start dulu. Tapi nanti awak akan susun ikut alpha, singly first before pairing out. So in the questions also say A, the py orbital have 2 electron, maximum field, full of electron. Okay, and then for C and D is half full. So that means only 1 single electron. So kalau awak dapat listkan dekat sini, sebenarnya dia punya electronic configuration simple sahaja. 1s2, 2s2 dengan 2p4 ikut alpha. Ikut apa dia lah. Okay, so once you got the electronic configurations, we go back to question A. State the charge of J ion. Briefly explain your answer. So you already see the valence electron is 6. This one is your valence electron. So what will be your ion J?
-2.
-2. Why -2?
They need 2 more electrons to be octet.
So briefly explain. So you explain the process, how it become J -2. Okay, so J accepting 2 electron to achieve the octet electronic configuration. So explain the process. Dia accept electron untuk jadikan J -2. Okay, to make it stable lah, to become the noble electronic noble gas configuration pun boleh. Octet electronic configuration pun boleh. Tapi ceritakanlah dia punya proses, briefly explain. Okay, and then for C, state the quantum number NLM. Cuma state sahajalah, tak payah explain. For orbital D. So over here is orbital D. So what is your value of N? Value N for orbital D?
2.
For L?
1.
1 because of p orbital. And then for M?
-3.
-1.
-1 or 0 or
positive 1.
Either one. Sebab satu orbital sahaja yang dia tanya. So salah satu value sahaja.
Madam. So what if we write for M -1/0/+1, just write all of it but with slash to indicate that it's either one.
Boleh. Boleh awak tulis atau boleh, tapi jangan guna koma. Kalau koma merangkumi semua jadi salah.
Alright, so slash so we need to write slash to indicate either one.
Yep.
Isn't it? Okay. Alright.
Alright. And then we get some more questions. Cuma Madam nak awak buat dululah soalan. So let's see which questions Madam choose, ya. Okay, I want you to try question number 1. This is to be submitted into your Google Classroom. So something we have discussed before, but don't worry. The questions, the answer madam will explain. We'll give you the answer to check, and if you got any questions, then we will explain together. Okay, question number 1. Question number 5. Okay, soalan nombor 7 macam soalan 4 tadi. Kalau dekat sini, sets of quantum number you see, but it's just not in the bracket. If you got 3 set, that means you have 3 electron which have the highest energy. So represent the 3 outermost electron of element Y. So madam nak awak cuba soalan 7 juga sama macam soalan 4 tadi. So question number 1, 5, 7. And let's see. Okay, question number 11. All right, so for these questions to be submitted into GC.
When's the deadline?
Today is 29. Okay, sampai esok malam lah. Usually 2 days lah, madam given. Today and then tomorrow until midnight. Okay, soalan 1, 5, 7 dengan 11. Okay, I repeat again. Question number 1, question number 5, 7, 11 to be submitted into Google Classroom. Okay, so for the attendance for today, madam want you to fill in one link. So this is to record for your attendance and a few survey lah. Okay. So before we end our class, any questions you would like to ask? Let's start recording dulu ya.